Hey friends, how are you doing today? Svava Brooks here. Hey friends, if you are on Periscope, thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am just broadcasting on Periscope today. I'm running the live stream and the chat on YouTube. If you want to join the chat, please join us over there. Too much to manage 2 live streams at the same time. Hello, sweet man. Hello, sweet man. Hey, Rob. How are you doing, my friend? Just really quick here to let people know what we're up to. Hey, Sue, if you are new and just watching, this is what we're doing. I'm abuse survivor coach, and I love to hang out with my fellow survivor thrivers as we are working hard at work, kicking and screaming, right? Finding our way back through, the muck, right? Healing and restoring our hearts and our bodies and our spirits. Sharon, I'm telling people that are watching us on Periscope that if they want to join us in the chat to head on over to YouTube. And over on YouTube, if you Google the name of the book, you will find this channel where you can find where we are hanging out. So how are you doing, my friend? Yes, this body is keeping me humble lately. Is that what age does to us all? Hey, Nora. Hey, friend. All right, Sue. It was good to see you. I wasn't expecting you. You are back. You're in the back kitchen, and that's where you got some Wi-Fi. That's awesome, because you are traveling right now. So good to be here with you guys. The cold weather is keeping you humble, Sharon. I hear you, my friend. Yes. Shut the front door. It is Nora. Nora's in the house. Yes, my friend, we haven't seen you in a little while. I know you catch up on the replays, which is all good, all good. Not everybody can be here, but most of you guys will, if you're not here live, will watch the replay, which is great. And we're so glad that you're here. Sharon, you're just a humble bumble. Well, a humble bumble is a good strategy through life, I think. But yes, what I was mentioning earlier, my back was acting up again a few days ago. Right? I hurt myself in December, and I thought I was just going to take a couple of days and then I was going to be up and running again. But oh no, this old body is definitely going a very, very slow path to healing here. But it's teaching me a lesson, right? It's like always pay attention to what you're saying to others, because chances are you need to hear it yourself. So I'm learning to be, what are some of the things that I say to you guys all the time? Be kind to myself, be gentle with myself, be patient, right? Remember to rest. Yes, self-compassion, be self-aware, right? There you go, Sue. Thank you, joining the club. And I don't know if some of you guys caught it, but I did a quick, as an intuitive, I recommend you listen to your body. Huh, I've heard that, Rob. I've heard that. That's a good strategy, right? To listen to your body. And our bodies are brilliant, because if we're not listening, what will your body do? I know what mine has done is just put the brakes on. So, I've been having a lot of heart-to-heart with this body, right? I can't fool this body. I can't tell the body that I'm resting and then still be operating and planning and working, right? So all good things. It's all good. You guys, my body's listening, so it's keeping me in check, right? So I'm just slowly easing back into what used to be my routine. I've thrown that routine out the window and I've had to start something completely new. So we will see how it goes, but just taking it one day at a time. My mind says, don't bother. My mind always says, yes, I can do it, but my body revolts and says, oh, no, you don't. Exactly, right? It's like there can't be that disconnect between here and here. And fair procrastination, Rob, I hear you. But like I did that quick video for you guys in the Facebook group earlier, and I was reflecting, which I managed to do when I finally can slow down and sit still for a little while. And like I shared with you guys, it's like this, something like this, some sickness, some illness, always for me around, there is some kind of breakthrough. There's something new, right? And I tell you guys, the resistance, when it's painful, when it hurts, it's because there's something new entering the system, right? There's something new coming our way. And I knew going into this year, I was going to be doing some different things. I was going to be stepping out of my comfort zone, right? And as I'm aging, my body is changing, right? And I'm leaning in and looking at the other women in this room who are maybe my age, is that this body doesn't operate the way it did 10, 20 years ago. So I'm coming up with the fact that I'm actually releasing a new version of Svava. Right? So anyways, it's all good, but it can feel clunky, right? Wobbly. It's like, hello, what's going on here? I thought I knew how this functioned. So that's where the humility is coming in. It's like, okay, take whatever you thought you knew and throw it out. We're starting over again. Yes, thank you, Sharon. I sure hope so. I hope that some maturity will come in as a result of it. And I hear you, Nora. I hear you, my friend, right? Kind of where you are when you think you declare, yep, I'm going to do this. I want to change, or I'm going to work on this. This is my new goal. This is my vision. And it's like, okay, right? Be careful what you wish for, right? But it's all good. It's all good. There's also been some gold nuggets. With age, we should gain wisdom. Yes. Yes. And Sue says here, yep, new stuff. Yep. Humility is the way forward. But I'm retaining silliness. I'm with you, Rob. I'm retaining silliness as well, because I was grown up way too young. Yes. So I'm sticking with silly until I'm out of this world, right? So you can count on that. That won't change, right? And it's interesting, right? I know how to navigate this, but what all of a sudden feels new and different is inside. And that's like, wait a minute, that's where I've felt, at home for so long. I've been very comfortable inside for a long time. So the thing that is shifting, it's like, wait a minute, it's like this old suit that doesn't fit anymore in some ways. So it's just interesting. And I'm probably over analyzing it and overthinking it. Anybody else do that around here? Yes, right. Yes. Change is kind of hard, but this change is good. Getting sillier with age, Sue. Yes, right. That's the good things, right? We've taken ourselves way too seriously, and of course, we had to grow up fast, many of us. So lighten up, lighten up, and that's actually my sweet husband. What he appreciates more about me these days, he's like, I laugh a lot more. I tell jokes. I laugh at myself a lot, of course, and he just looks at me and rolls his eyes because nobody thinks it's funny but me. But he appreciates it because I was way too serious. There you go, hugging random trees, hugging random strangers, right? Handing out hearts, random hearts when I'm out and about. I'd much rather be that way. Sharon says, sometimes I'll flip a coin when faced with two options. My friends think I'm nuts. Good for you, Sharon. Hey, why not? Why not? Why not? Rob, I'm still a boy. Well, and that's it, my friend Rob, right? It's just like, wait a minute. I just figured this grown-up thing, just figured this out, and I still feel like a little girl inside, right? Maybe a young woman, but it's important that we let out that inner boy, that little girl, that little boy, right? Who just wants to be free and play. And so you guys have seen lots of pictures of me standing there, right? Opening up to receiving the world, right? I'm just getting started. Hey, Lori. How are you, friend? I see Lori over here. Maybe she'll join us over there. I know I keep you guys all confused, right? When I'm moving back and forth. Back and forth. Yes, exactly. I love it. I love it. My dog loves my little now. She does not shred her into pieces. Oh, that's good. She snuggles. Aw, that's so sweet. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Awesome. Well, it's so good to be with you guys. I've missed you guys. It's been a little while. And I just wanted to call out and remind everybody, if you're in the Journey to the Heart group, we're doing 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'm doing a live Facebook stream on tapping. So make sure, if you can, if it works for your schedule, to join us. I have my colleague, Diane, join me to talk about tapping. So if you guys want to learn more about tapping, what I love about her approach is that she explains it so well and also helps us to understand each point is linked to parts of our bodies. So it's okay, Lori. So glad you made it. I saw you over here. So you got lost online. It's okay. It happens to me all the time. Happens to me all the time. So anyway, so I was just saying, if you guys are around tomorrow in the Journey to the Heart Facebook group, join us for a live conversation about tapping. And if you can't be there live, but you have any question, you can send me the question, or I will record it and I will share the recording with you guys later. Tapping, one of those. Tapping was probably one of the first, after meditation, tools that I started using. And I still use it a lot when I go to the dentist. I don't use all the big tapping points, right? But I will pinch my fingers. 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I don't know what time that is for you, Rob, over in UK. There you go. We are complete now. Lori's here. You never got a hang of it, Sue. Well, maybe we should try it a little more and see, because it takes time. And like with TRE, it works faster and better and more the more you use it, right? We just have to keep being a little more persistent. So, but I think you'll like her. So, are we ready? So we turn to the book. Actually, I was looking kind of along the lines of what we're going to talk about today, a few posts that I've been sharing lately on Facebook have had to do kind of with the topic that we're talking about today, like how our trauma gets stored in the body and how that energy in our body both impacts how we think about ourselves. It kind of reorganizes everything, right? And also the energy gets stuck in our bodies, right? And a lot of people have been commenting and sharing on those posts, so on Facebook. So a lot of people are becoming more aware of that connection, which is great to see. Let's see here. Rob said you had a lot of job problems, so dentist is scary. I hear you, my friend. I hear you, Rob. I hear you. Yeah, a lot of survivors, right? We tend to grind our teeth, right? We have a lot of tension. We hold a lot of tension in our jaw, right? I don't know if you guys know these facts, but you know, the amount of pressure that we can put between our teeth, it's quite intense. So I've actually, as a result of TRE, tension and trauma release, let me just hold up the booklet. I've actually had tremors in my jaw, right? I've released some of that tension in my jaw. So it's been powerful. Once we become aware of how and where we hold it, we also can support our body in letting it go, right? Letting it go. So, all right. So let's see. What are we talking about today? Let's go to the page. Day 38 of the year is here. Though abuse is, right, terrible and wrong, it impacts the brain and a body in a way that we learn to expect it, right? Right? We've talked a lot about here. We share that, right? When we keep waiting for the other shoe to fall, right? So we learn to expect it all the time once it starts. And once the brain and the body are expecting abuse, anything else, including good things, is not to be trusted because it's new and different. And new and different is a matter of life or death because your body has already adapted to survive the current environment. Another thing that we've talked about here quite a bit, right? Our normal, what was normal in my childhood, maybe not what I was normal, but I kept being drawn into those situations, right? It's like your biology is compelled to repeat, to find yourself in the same situation over and over and over again. So you keep attracting the environment, that environment into your life. You keep the cycle going because it's all you know. And again, that's how powerfully we project what we think, what we believe, what we see. We find, we bring in, we draw to us. So once we're aware of that, how our brain and our body are attracting those things, right? Even though right, and we know we don't deserve it, we can reflect the abuse and we can begin to break that cycle and begin to push away the bad and actually letting the good, right? Because you deserve it, right? I don't know about you, but it was in the high school years where I often was thinking there must be, like, I felt like you talk about being a magnet, Rob. I was a magnet for, you know, abuse. Flip the magnet. There you go, Lori. I love that, right? Take that magnet that is attracting, drawing things to you, right? And flip it. And so we can start pushing those things away, being aware of when they start coming into our lives, Wait. I'm releasing you because yes, my body, my biology, my thoughts, my beliefs think that this is what I should have, but I now know, loving and firm with my little girl, do not deserve this. This is not good for me. Do what feels better and right for you. Like how any random nutter shouts, yes, I hear you, Rob. Yes, I hear you. I hear you, right? Again, right? It's never your fault, right? It's not your fault that it was never our fault that we were abused, right? We've established that, right? In the past. But now we're here. And what can we take responsibility for? Body language, how we talk to ourselves, how we care about ourselves, what tight energy we carry within ourselves, right? These are all signals that we're putting out into the world. They're all signals that we're putting out into the world. So, of course, then it makes sense that these messes, these challenges would show up in our relationships, right? So we push good people away, allow ones that maybe aren't that good for us. We end up doing all the giving in those toxic relationships, and often the people hurting us, if they're not our partner relationship, they're maybe, work or whatever, right? Even family. They take, and use you and use you and use you and use you, right? And then some, even when we speak up and set a boundary, then they abandon us. So love shouldn't hurt, but it does for us for a long time because we tend to fall in love with abusers. We tend to fall in love and be attracted to what we saw growing up. So awareness here is the first step, right? And ending this toxic behavior pattern. Again, these habits. So the two questions today. When you look back at any relationship in your life, how did the action of each partner resemble the actions of your childhood, either the abuser or the bystander, or someone who didn't protect you, maybe didn't abuse you, but also didn't get you out of there, right? What did you see growing up? And the second question is, how does it feel to realize that love, right, respect, partnership, friendship should not hurt, right? Love should not hurt. Lori says, our interstate transmits like a radio wave externally. Yes, my friend. Yes, it does. It does. And, in some ways we can feel like, oh, that sucks, right? That's frustrating. I feel kind of powerless over it. I know that's how I used to feel for a long time. I have no control over these jerks or these terrible people that are treating me awful or being disrespectful to me, showing up in my life, until I understood this part and actually, felt empowered by it, because there is something that I could change. But the change wasn't, again, trying to change these people. It was about changing here, changing the radio station, changing what I was playing on the station, right? What did I want the world to hear? And what was I playing in here for me, right? Yes, love how you put it, Lori. Absolutely. So let's turn to the Facebook page here and see. I got some sharing to do from your comments. Wanda said she couldn't be here today, but she posted her comment and gave me permission to share. She says here, looking back at past relationships and their resemblance of my abusers is all were much older than me. I hear you, my friend. You're not alone in that, right? When I was 15 and 16, the guys I was hanging out with were 27, 28, and 30, right? Not cool. And I'm still kind of amazed that more people didn't say something, right? Not good. Not good at all. So Wanda goes on to say, I've always said love is not supposed to hurt according to the definition of the purest love. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. Hey, LaDonna. Hey, friend. Good to see you. Love is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects. It always trusts. Always hopes, always preserves. Love never fails. I see none of these things equate to pain. Beautiful, beautiful, Wanda. I loved all the ways. We should all be making notes, right? Keeping that on our bathroom mirror. Love equals, and then the long list that Wanda just gave us. And if we ever have a doubt, what is this? Let me go check. It's not here. Nope, that's not love, right? Yes, she's got away with words. Wanda does. Yes, she does. And like you guys know, I do my best to simplify it. It sounds like the St. Francis prayer. It probably is, because it sounds very familiar. It sounds familiar, and it is beautiful. It is beautiful, right? There you go. See, our scholars in the group have figured this out for us. I knew it came from somewhere, but it is beautiful, and it made my heart sing just reading it. I hope you guys felt that too. But along those same lines, it's like, how can we really simplify this, right? Because we make love so complicated. There's two things to think about, right? And it goes back to our bodies and how we feel. Again, what are we projecting out there, right? What do we expect? What are we receiving or giving? So two ways, right? Either we are our hearts closed, right? We are defended. We are suspicious, right? We are on guard. We are projecting. We assume the worst. We are critical, right? We are judgmental of ourselves. We are shut down. We isolate, right? I know that checklist very well. And the other one, or you can be, right, curious, open, soft, warm, generous, kind, right? You lean in, you listen. Can you guys feel the difference between those two? So every day, who is running the show? Am I leading with an open heart? Am I curious about what this day will bring me? Am I open to sharing from the heart, meeting people where they're at, wanting to be very kind and loving and open and present. Yes. Yeah. Because I want people to feel respected, to be seen, to be heard. And the other one is, right? The change of pace made me brittle. I can't see this. Yes, exactly. And it's right, using mindfulness. Also, my friends, we've talked about that here. And I asked in my video earlier, how is your meditation practice going, right? Because our greatest challenge is this mind, this compulsive machine up here that's constantly pulling our attention, demanding our attention, instead of dropping into our hearts, right? And choose to stay open and kind and loving. Because the only way to be that way out here is that we have to show up that way for ourselves. Awesome, Nora. I'm so happy to hear that you are enjoying that meditation that I recorded for you. Awesome. Well, we're going to do more meditation this coming Tuesday. Awesome, awesome, awesome. By the end of this year, you guys will all be meditation experts, right? Opening up our heart is life-giving. Yes. 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 Yes, right? And when we open up our hearts, we can finally hear our heart song, right? And when we open up our hearts enough to hear our own heart song, I often feel like the energy of the heart just kind of, it goes out and comes back. It goes out and comes back. It goes out and comes back, right? This energy, it's like music to my ears. It's soothing. And when we are, right, giving from the heart, we receive. Right? And when we give from our heart, because we have found our heart song, right? We help other people find their heart song. And what greater gift is but that, right? Help people know that they're okay. They're okay. They're okay. Awesome, my friends. So thank you, Wanda. Thank you for inspiring our love conversation here. And it makes sense, right? That you, after being hurt by someone much older than you, that you kept bringing into your world for some reason, right? We know the reason, right? People much older than you, right? Your body is compulsive and repeating the cycle. And actually, that's what I love about TRE. And one of the things that we teach in TRE is that cycle, right? This is the normal cycle where life is hard. Trauma happens. And if we get the support to heal, your body can release it soon after, or if not soon, immediately after. It can shake out the toxic hormones that were pumped into your system during the traumatic event. But for most of us, we're stuck here. We're stuck here, right? The brain and the body are stuck. There's a little war going on, right? There's tension held in the body. And so the brain and the body is sending information to the brain, there's something wrong, there's something wrong, there's something wrong, because there's so much tension in here. And so the brain is like, okay, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong? It's probably this, it's probably this, it's probably this, right? Let's recreate that last time you got hurt so we can complete the cycle and, right, develop then that wisdom, right? We learn from those painful experiences. We grow from them. That's what naturally happens, not just for humans, for all animals, for all animals. So that was a little sidetrack, but yep. There you go, Lori. Just, it's good to remind ourselves, right? Thank you, Nora. Exactly. You've heard this explanation many times. It is just now sinking in. Yes. I hear you, my friends. I hear you. Right? I get it. I had to hear it over and over and over again, right? Because this tension in our bodies, it impacts our hearing. It impacts our understanding, right? We are in survival mode. And when we're like fighting for our lives, it's hard to learn. It's hard to receive the same way it's hard to receive love when we're fighting for our lives. It's hard to receive information, new information, when we're fighting for our lives, right? When we're just treading water, someone is teaching us something, there's very limited access to connecting, to embody that. She's like, what does that mean? As it is hard to see the truth. Yes. Exactly, right? We are here. When we are tight and fighting for our lives with limited access to those parts of our brain that give us, right, our capacity to process, to really, I wonder what I've learned. What am I going to do with that information? What is that, and how does that apply to me? When we're just operating from the brain down here, it doesn't even get up there. So, and that's also why it's partly good for us, right? We're socially engaged, talking about what happened, right? Some of us can feel the anxiety a little bit in our bodies. We're normalizing having this conversation, doing our best to keep our body and our brain online, present, to take in as much of this as possible, as we slowly can bring more and more of it, right, online, and embody it in a way that, now that I know this, how can I use this information to change my life, to make different choices? No longer just reacting, but I'm deciding, not just because the body decided. So I'm so glad, Nora, that you're finding it, and I know it is helpful to hear it over and over and over again. Beautiful, beautiful. So let's see here. Rob shared with us, I look at how I have loved myself or not loved myself. Yes, Nora. Awesome. Yep. Let's see. Rob was sharing here in the Facebook group. He shared, I look at how I have loved myself or not loved myself, to be precise, as a result of my past. Dangerous activities, unhealthy situations are not love. Love is about self-respect caring, and happiness. Confident to be quiet and nothing to prove except devotion and willingness to be totally honest at all times. And trust, and until you can love yourself, you love anybody else. Yes. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. And again, right? Here it comes, right? Be gentle with yourself, my friend. Be gentle with yourself. Often our greatest struggle, right, is that how can we let others love us when we don't even know what it looks like? We don't even know what it feels like. And it certainly didn't look safe or fun or, right? Exactly. And then we slowly start to recognize, oh, wait a minute. I can love myself, right? Just like we keep people out, we keep the love out. So then slowly to experiment. What is it? Like gives warmth, right? Self-compassion practices. Why am I doing this? Bring warmth to your body. Your body understands warmth. Your body understands you taking deep breaths. Yes, yes, Rob, it is. Yes. So slowly, in whatever soft and slow, gentle way, right? You are learning to love yourself. Here, even we can use the tapping, tap, 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 right? Part of you is, nope, no way am I going to be loving to myself, right? And then on the other side, even though I really struggle with loving myself, I'm willing to consider the possibility. I'm learning how to love myself. I'm learning to be kind to myself, right? And to take these two opposites, because that's all it is, right? We're always dealing with opposites, two sides of the spectrum that are at war with each other. Our perception of what we think and where we are. And what's in between is what we judge and criticize and measure up against, and we can never, right? Thus, two-way street to give love and receive. Yes. Yes, exactly. Yes, my friends. Yes. Yep. So, right? Do you deserve love? Yes, my friend. Yes, my friend. Yes, my friend. Right? And who is it that receives the love? Is it your head? Is it your heart? Is it your body? Where is it felt? Where do you feel? Where do you know you're loved? I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, sweet body. I love you. I know I've been so hard on you. I didn't know how to really take good care of you. No one showed me how. All I saw out here was just busy people running around, working too hard, no sleep, no fun, no play, no joy, no rest. So that's what I did. But I'm learning different now. I'm learning different now. And you're a priority to me. Yep, you and me, babe. We're a team. We are. Because you hold this beautiful heart, right? that I'm ready, right? This heart is ready to start to sing. I remember the butterflies in the stomach, but then it moves to everywhere where you see that special person. Yes. Yes. And you know what? Aw. Thank you, Nora. And my friend Rob, I actually heard something magical. Well, it struck me as magical just a few days ago, and I can't remember where did I hear it. I'm always listening to all kinds of stuff. And yes, I don't remember who it was, but she was saying the person we are seeking is our best selves. The person we are seeking to fall in love with is best, like the optimal, the greatest version of ourselves, right? I don't know if that makes sense. But to me, it makes sense. It's like, for me, I tapped into a feeling here, is that a lot of feeling here. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Lori. What I love the most about my husband, like that's why this really resonated when I heard it, is that I love how he has made me a better person, right? I am able to love the way I do because he has loved me, right? And it hasn't been easy to let him love me. I didn't believe I was worth it for a long time. Sorry, I have my tissues. Sue is always on me. Svava, where are your tissues? Well, good. I hope I'm not the only one. Right? That's it too, right? So when we're out there seeking, we are actually seeking something that we feel like is missing in us, right? So yeah, so it made sense to me because what was missing in me, I found through the love of and with like sharing with my husband. So yes, he is a sweetie. Not that we don't have our moments, and I actually have a teaching moment that I was going to share with you guys here today. We don't run out of time, but all right. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you guys, it resonates. Good. Let's see here. Okay, keeping an eye on the clock here. Sue shared with us. Lovely, lovely lady Sue. In many ways, my abusive marriage mirrored the relationship between my father and mother. A dominant, controlling husband and a submissive wife, anxious to keep the peace. I'd always been controlled as a child and tried to please, so getting into that sort of a relationship was natural. I didn't know any different, right? Yeah. I hear you, my friend. And again, right, as children, and we see what's going on out here. Well, what do we see in the relationships, in our parents? Is often what we end up mimicking, whether we like it or not, right? I don't know about you, but I have come to a few times as a parent, I swore I was never going to do that. I'm never going to say that. And then one day interacting with my husband or my children, it's like, there it is, right? It's like, there it is. I said or showed up, did exactly what I vowed never to do. It just, again, is in our biology. So yes, my friend Sue, right? And we find ourselves in those relationships because we don't know any different. She goes on to say here, and for me, love was always mixed with pain, had difficult consequences and conditions. And when I first came across real love, it was scary and I didn't understand it. It still makes me cry. And though I can see that love shouldn't hurt, it's still taking time for me to trust that and to finally unscramble that link between love and pain. Yes. Yes. I hear you. I so hear you, Sue, right? I so hear you, right? It's going to take a little while, right? We don't understand it. We don't understand it. And it's like, well, if that's love, I don't want that. No, I don't want any more hurt. So again, part of how we learn how to love, right, is when we love ourselves, when we actually have an embodied experience of what, warmth is, what really accepting ourselves is. I mean, that's love, accepting yourself unconditionally. I don't think there is anything as unconditional love between two people. I think there's unconditional love for ourselves, right? I think there's kind of a gray area here, right? But I think part of it is for us to recognize, for us, what does love mean to me? And, what are those, conditions or consequences? And you get to talk through them, right? Unscramble that link between love and pain. And, right, life is hard. There is hurt in life. And sometimes when we give ourselves over to something and we love in a big way, if it goes away, there's gonna be pain. There's gonna be sadness. There's gonna be grief. Be about love. That's good, Rob. Yes. And for me, it's, love is an exchange. It's not something, we don't love in isolation. So there's exchange, and there's an exchange between you and your inner child, right? Right? You share, you give and you receive. There's always an exchange. And when there hasn't been a healthy exchange, right, then we don't trust anybody that they're going to have a happy, healthy, supportive exchange with us. There was always pain. So I'm sorry, Sue. I'm sorry, my friend. Be gentle with yourself, honey. I say honey, my friend. I'm wanting to come in and just sit with you and sit with your little girl, your inner child, or even your adult self, right? That was hurt for so long and was told that this was love, right? And that you weren't doing it right, that you weren't loving right. I hear you, my friend. Okay. Thank you, LaDonna. I don't mean to be disrespectful when I say honey, because I say that to my kids and just not everybody likes it. So thank you for saying that. But I know you guys know. I mean well. So, but what I also just wanted to share with you guys today, I know. I know. Good. All right, guys. Honey's good. Exactly, but not very vegan. You're funny, Rob. You're funny. But I wanted to share with you guys, we have a few more minutes, just, something that actually happened here at home today. And that before I do, I wanted to say, when it comes to love, it's, for me, it's about being loving and connected and present. And that's like my mantra and my core values at this point, not just for myself, but for others, and to show up for others that way, in that way. And we get tested, right? And I'm not perfect, not all the time. Duh, right? Actually, far from it. But, today we had a little challenge here, my husband and I, and he was definitely a little grumpy. And like, you guys know how much I love him, but he's not perfect either. And he snapped at me. And I just sat there and I just looked at him. And in the past, I would have made it mean about me. And I was actually thinking a few years ago. But I just sat there and listened and just sent him love. And he went and did his work. And then he came back a little later and he stood next to me very, very sheepish. And, kind of like wanting me to rescue him, because he knew he had done something that he needed to make amends. And he was standing there, and my tears are here because I felt really bad for him. But I knew this was important for him to do. So he was like, I'm really sorry, for what I said to you, or the tone that I used with you. Because obviously this wasn't, I didn't need to speak to you that way. And he said, I'm very, very sorry. And I'm just trying so hard not to be hard on myself, because I don't understand where this comes from. I just snapped, and it had nothing to do with you. And I'm a grown man, and I know what I know, and I really care about you. And it just really is painful for me that I was being disrespectful. And so obviously I grabbed him, I hugged him, and thanked him for being willing to apologize, because that's how we restore the respect in the relationship, right? And then I told him, I said, hey, honey, I knew this wasn't about me. I knew that what you were responding to wasn't something I had done. And I trusted that you would come once you realized, right, what you had done, right, that you would come and apologize. And I hugged him and I said, I forgive you. And then I said, can you forgive you? Because I know where this comes from. I know this reaction. And we talked about, this knee-jerk reaction when our nervous system is activated. There's some stress at work, right? I know he's under some pressure at work. And so no excuse, right? And it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't. But so I just stood with him. I hugged him, and I said, I forgive you, honey. Can you forgive you? Right. And then he's like, I just don't want anything like this to be, come between us, or to become something that we're upset with each other about for weeks or months like we used to. And I said, honey, it's gone. I've let it go already. And I invite you to do the same. Right. So it was a good ending, good resolution, right? And I also told my husband, sometimes I put my coaching hat on. It's just that, honey, yes, exactly, is that, he judges himself so much. The best I could do was to show him how it's possible to love and to be warm and kind, even when we judge ourselves. So I said, honey, me forgiving you is a sign that you can forgive you too, right? So we had a beautiful rest of the day. But I just thought it was a good story to share with you guys. That, right? You're welcome, my friends. You're welcome. Because I could have taken it personally. I could have gotten really pissed off. I could have made him mean all kinds of terrible things about him. I could have made it mean that I'm going to withhold my love and I'm going to not speak to him. And right? Instead of like, oh, I'm sorry, sweet man. I know you got a lot going on. Right? And I can separate who he is and the words he said, right? And I just dodged them. Okay, we'll talk about it later. So thank you for letting me share with you guys today. As you guys shared so beautifully your experiences, and I know for each of your shares, you guys are healing each other, healing each other's hearts and souls and your spirits. So I drew a card for us today. It's always perfect. So today we have one day. Thank you, Rob. Can only do that if you're in a good place. Yes, Sue. And that brings me back to then isn't it then our responsibility to make sure we're in that good place? Self-care, right? If I take really good care of my heart and my body and my mind, then I'm most days in a good place. As my back is slowly starting to cooperate, I'm in a good place. I am loving, connected, and present, right? That's my job, my responsibility for me. So then I can hold the space for whatever happens out here, and I don't have to take it personally. Because, right, most of the people in the world are struggling with something, as we know. So did you guys love this? One day she woke up and decided to color outside the lines. We are rebels, perfection rebels. No more perfection. We're coloring outside those lines, right? And it says something else here. And in her heart breathed a sigh of relief. Oh, that's the fine print. I can barely see it. Right? Aren't we all just so sick of coloring inside the lines? Oh. All right. Well, with that, my friends, thank you for being here, for the love and support and encouragement, for a little tissue action today. Right? And we will be here next time on Tuesday. Starting Tuesday morning, we're meditating. I'll post the link in the Facebook group if you don't have it already. But we are, yes, tomorrow in the Journey to the Heart group. I know you guys will be so confused. I'm throwing all these different things at you. If you're around tomorrow, 9 a.m. to do some conversation about tapping, right? And again, if this conversation was helpful to you, please give me, a thumbs up. It's the thumbs up on YouTube and the hearts on the Periscope. I appreciate all that. And if you have, aha moment, if you'd like to share with a comment below right? The video, I always appreciate it. Thank you, my friends. Have a good night. So good to have you all here today, and I'll see you soon. See you soon.